Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We'll get to the JRC in a moment, but first the disclaimers and the trigger warnings. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, pertinent links are going to be in the description box. We have Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, and the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center threatened a defamation lawsuit over. Neuroclastics article where they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. Neuroclastic obviously said no, so it's still on their website. Please click on the link, read the article, share it on your social media. We also have Neuroclastics GoFundMe linked in there as well, in case the JRC ever does see through with their threat, because unlike them, we don't have access to unlimited streams of money. Trigger warning when we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys. You're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please go ahead and utilize the headphones. Also, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We do use profanity and speak on dark subjects. If your child's 16 and younger and watching this, parental supervision is advised. Now, as warned in the previous video, we're getting ready to deal with holy word salad run-on sentence Batman. So just kind of prep yourself with that. I will try to take places to breathe while reading the last part of it. Because good God. In fact, this population can be identified, and the FDA has approved even more intrusive and risky treatments such as ECT with similar labeling. Do I have to explain this again? Do I? Fine. ECT is not a skin shock device. ECT was not designed intentionally to cause pain in the individuals who use it. Not just that, folks. There's a few other things as well. In regards to ECT, not only is consent required, there is a shit ton of holes and loops you have to go through because you have to get that shit approved first and sign a whole bunch of waivers so that those who are administering the ECT are not going to be drowning in legal lawsuits afterwards. That's one difference. The ECT is not designed to cause the person using it physical pain. That's number two. As a matter of fact, when an individual consents and gets approved for ECT therapy, in regards to the preparation before that therapy being administered, the individuals who are administering it do everything humanly possible in regards to the comfort of their patients that can be done. They deeply educate the person in regards to aftercare for when the ECT therapy is over with. And they do try to provide, if necessary, medications, whatever is needed. And they go out of their goddamn way to minimize any form of pain experienced while going under that therapy. Okay? Also, ECT is not being used as a consequence of quote-unquote behaviors. The person receiving ECT is the person that is in control of the entire process. It requires their consent. It requires them to sign waivers. It also requires those individuals who are administering it to do exactly what I just told you. Okay? Now let's compare that with the GED device. The consent of the folks on whom they're forcing the device on. Their consent doesn't matter to JRC. Only the parents' consent matters, according to them. That means the person that is stuck on the human shock collar is given no say and no control over who's using the device on them, when the device is going to be used on them, as a long list. And not just that, but unlike the individuals who administer ECT therapy, the JRC does not do a goddamn thing to minimize the damage that their device causes, try to minimize the pain that their device causes, because unlike with ECT, with the GED device, the pain is the fucking point. Do you see the difference now? Because I do. So did the FDA. With ECT, the patient is controlled 100% of the time. 100% of the time. It is not utilized as a punishment or, I'm sorry, JRC, for consequences. It is done with the full knowing consent and done by the decision of the patient. Point blank. It is not designed to cause physical pain or discomfort. And every single thing that can be done to ensure that comfort and minimize any kind of pain is utilized and done without a question. The GED device, the JRC doesn't give a shit about our comfort, our psychological welfare, our sense of safety and well-being, and they sure as shit do not care whatsoever about us exercising any form of self-autonomy. The ECT therapy and GED device are not the same thing. Not even remotely close. Okay? Now you brought up labeling, but it helps with ECT. Don't make me tap the goddamn sign. These therapies are not the same. The only thing that they have in common is that both of them require electricity to be shot to a person to work. That's where the similarities begin and end. Even the reasons for why each of them are used is different. Okay? Your staff does not do anything to minimize the hurt, pain, and the absolute psychological terror in regards to that device, the GED, being used on them. The people forced on the GED have no power here. Okay? Do you understand that? Reason why labeling works with the ECT is because the ECT therapies, as it is rarely used, is done with the full, utter consent of the individual getting the therapy. Not somebody deciding on their behalf. Not some court-appointed guardian that was forced on them. Their consent. Their consent. The labeling works with ECT in regards to their device because that device is not being used to hurt the person or cause physical pain. Does it cause pain? Yes, but the pain with ECT is not the point, like it is with the GED device. Okay? And everything is done by the staff administering ECT. That does not get done with the GED. I'll be back in a minute, folks. So seriously, anybody even trying to compare the two and say, well, the ECT has become safer because of labeling when you're talking about two polar opposites is just stupid. It's about the same level of stupid as Dr. Matthew Israel trying to compare surgery and someone gets cut going into surgery to their device. It's like you all can't seem to understand and wrap your brain around the fact that the differences are not to cause the person undergoing the therapies or the surgery physical pain. But it will because of the surgery, yes. They are also given prescription pain medication to assist with the pain and discomfort while they heal from said surgeries, or trying to heal after an ECT administration. Do you do that for any of your students after a GED device application to one of your students, JRC? Give them any pain medication? Any salves to help with any possible burns or red marks? Do you do anything at all to alleviate any of the stress or pain that comes from having someone shock you with that device? You don't need the answer because we already know. The answer is no. So stop comparing. What you're doing compared to everyone else is not even close to being remotely the same. And we are really tired of arguing in a circle with you all about it. If you can't wrap your brain around these very logical and clear facts, you have no business running a school. I can't deal with these people. I really can't, folks. Let me continue. Please shoot me. The FDA further assessed concern that the JRC is not conducting analog functional analysis for all patients on ESD treatment, and that intellectually disabled individuals may have trouble communicating adverse effects. But neither of these stated concerns actually addresses the question of whether the labeling changes would adequately address the claimed risks of the ESD. For instance, requiring certain tests or functional assessments for the patient, or requiring clinician monitoring of potential adverse effects and nonverbal patient. For the love of fucking God. But you're not doing any. If I'm screaming no, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm communicating to you. If I am screaming in pain, I'm pretty sure that that's good communication that I want you to stop whatever it is you're doing that is causing me to cry out at that level of pain. I'm pretty sure watching that Andre McCollum's surveillance video footage of him screaming and begging for you all to stop. It's pretty clear communication. Okay? I did call the FDA out on that, by the way. Alright? And as far as, but that doesn't address the question of whether labeling changes would adequately address the claimed risks. For the billionth time, labeling does not miraculously heal second and third degree burns. Proper labeling is not going to give the students who have lost feeling in the parts of their body where the electrodes have been attached to back to them. Proper labeling is not going to fix shit when you literally force these students to wear their device backpacks in the goddamn shower with them. Saying, oh, well, they can just hold their arm out and it won't get wet. I'm going to have to get these adjusted soon. But it would minimize the risks. Is labeling going to undo second and third degree burns already administered? No. Thought not. Proper labeling going to unfuck me psychologically for you using that device on me and abusing me with it continuously for such sins as standing up for longer than 3 seconds. No, it will not. Why you're even trying to bring forth this argument is nonsensical, and I want the fuck out of this clown car. Labeling does not reduce the risk that that device has the possibility. It doesn't fix anything. Okay? Ever hear the phrase, you can't unring a bell? Yeah. And quit comparing this with standard care, even the more rare parts of it. Nothing that you do at the JRC even remotely resembles the rest of the medical model, where they fall over backwards to make sure all safety protocols are in place, that medicine is prescribed for any level of pain to assist during the healing process. You do not do any of these things. JRC, stop comparing yourself to them. Your device is designed to cause us physical pain. Those devices are not designed specifically and directly to cause us pain. nor do you do anything at all to try to minimize the psychological damage done when you use that device on someone who's given no voice or no power in the situation. The label can't undo that. All right? God, they're exhausting, folks. They are exhausting. We're going to go ahead and close out on that one, all right? We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time, so please, folks, don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Please don't forget to utilize the comments. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you can have a good one. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everyone.